Welcome back. You're live with Expresso on a beautiful Tuesday morning. It's about that time where we get into our youth sport action, and what an incredible weekend we were treated to. The reunion derby, 150 years in the making. This is where heroes are made and broken. This is where bragging rights begin. We've also got a derby in the southern suburbs, and we're going to see one particular hero emerge. An unbelievable young player. It's time to get into this week's youth sport action. It's a rugby fest.
Another reunion day is behind us, with close calls in Pretoria and the Eastern Cape, where powerhouses went toe-to-toe in a battle for the province. Here's your jam-packed youth sports bulletin. Let's get straight into the action. In Gauteng, St. John's College was defeated by Michael House 55 points to 29. Affies maintained their #1 status by the skin of their teeth when they left it to the last minute to defeat Waterkloof 19-18 in Pretoria on Saturday. In KwaZulu-Natal, Hilton College trumped George Campbell 39-10, whilst Westville defeated Northwood 49-0 in another impressive defensive performance. From the Zulu Kingdom to the Eastern Cape, where Selborne College continued in their rich vein of form with a strong victory over Cambridge, 19-17 the final score in that encounter. Dale College bounced back from their loss, defeating Kingswood 44-14, and Queen's College edged out Hudson Park 38-30. In the Western Cape, Paarlgrim won their match against Rondebosch 35-14 in impressive fashion to remain unbeaten this season, whilst Otanikwa showed their dominance over Oakdale with a somewhat lackluster performance, 13-7 the final score in this low-scoring encounter. Now for the matchups of the weekend. With Affies having left Bloemfontein with a victory, Paarl Boys' Eye descended on Grey College with hopes of emulating their Pretoria brethren. Their heads were reeling after Grey were 13-0 up after just 15 minutes. And with 20 minutes gone and the score at 20-0, it seemed like a cricket score was on the cards. Until Paarl fought back to finish the first half, trailing the home side 12 points to 27. The second half started in frantic fashion with Paarl pressing hard, and with 15 minutes left on the clock, they were just 2 points behind their hosts, with a score of 25-27 on the scoreboard. But Grey College would respond and add a further 8 points to their score to seal the victory, 35-28, the final score in that entertaining derby. Now for the Battle Royale at Reunion. Maritzburg College's Goldstones Field played host to bitter rivals Glenwood as they embarked on a fierce 150th Reunion Day clash. In a back-and-forth affair, College drew first blood through the boots of Marcel Coetzee before Cornet Vermaat scored the first try for Glenwood. Kelvin Eldar hit back for College, scoring a try before he was sent off by referee Craig Hubert after 32 minutes. That was for a tip ankle on Akona Nela of Glenwood. College played out the rest of the match with just 14 men, but did it valiantly. At halftime, the scores were tight, with Glenwood leading by a solitary point, 16-17 the score. The second half saw much of the same, with both teams trading blows like heavyweight fighters on the Las Vegas Strip. College would be behind for the majority of the half, but would crucially take the lead with just 5 minutes left on the clock, 40-37 to the home side. With a full-time whistle looming, all College hearts were shattered by a dramatic last-minute try by Morne Hubert. With it, Glenwood sealed a remarkable Derby Day victory. And finally, now for the battle over in Wynberg. The boys from Bishops faced their old foes Wynberg for one of the oldest matchups in South African schoolboy history. Both captains were ready for the afternoon's clash.
With today's game, it's obviously a derby game. We'd love to win it. We can't really say much before the game, but just got to work what we've been working on during the week. Let's put into the game today.
Yeah, we're not intimidated by this Wynberg side. Yes, we know they've got some good players in Jared Sage and Sia Allah, but we like to work as a unit, and we think that we've got the players in the positions to counter them and go out there and actually win the match today. For me, a win would be great, but it's not as much about how we win, it's about what we do on the field and how we keep our standards up.
With all that talking out of the way, it was down to business, and this would be a game of 4 quarters. The home crowd were left stunned as Bishops led the encounter 14-3 after the first 15 minutes. With Bishops looking like a team on fire, the Wynberg boys did whatever any ferocious animal would do when cornered. They fought back. Building on a solid defensive performance and some great leadership decisions by skipper Jared Sage, the Wynberg machine fought back and stuck their noses out in front at the half-time mark. The second half saw Wynberg defend a barrage of attacks from the Bishops sides that thoroughly believed they deserved a victory from this game. The away side would take the lead with the scores at 23-28. As if the thought of a loss against Bishops was just too much for Captain Jared Sage to accept, he led his Chargers on one last rampage. The hosts would score an unanswered 19 points, which included a hat-trick from Captain Sage to finish off the game and win the encounter, 42 points to 28. Wynberg's Captain Jared was impressed with his team's display of character.
I think today this team stuck together. They kept working hard. We went down first, scored 2 tries, quick 2 tries. Kept working as a team. I think the brotherhood kept us together and we worked hard to win the game. This win for the school, it was very good for the school because as you can see, the guys on the outline are watching over us and it actually brings a big vibe in the school.
On the flip side of that coin, Bishop's Kuan Hablutzel was disappointed with his side's lack of unity.
To start off with, I just don't think we showed the cohesive unit that we showed last week against Paul Jim. Like, I know we went down that match, but when we went out against Paul Jim, we played for each other. We played for the Bishop's blue jersey, and I think that was lacking a bit today. We lost a bit of our composure in that match, and Wynberg capitalized on a few of our mistakes and our ill-discipline on the field, so they did well in that respect.
What an incredible weekend of youth sports we witnessed. Make sure you tune in again on Friday when we'll preview all the biggest games coming up over the weekend, only on Expresso.
Expresso Youth Sport, brought to you by Deep Heat, warms pain away.